You might have heard it's hot this summer. Actually, you know it's hot. It's hot a lot of summers, which is uncomfortable and expensive unless you're at the beach enjoying things. That said, of course, it's not the hottest summer ever on record. That belongs to 1936. There are pictures of people sleeping on the state capitol grounds in Nebraska that summer. It got so hot that summer, it continued the Dust Bowl and the food shortages of the Great Depression. Between a rainy spring, though, and boiling summer this summer, add on high diesel prices and skyrocketing fertilizer prices, American farmers say buckle up for shortages of wheat and corn. As you can see from these pictures, the wheat and corn that's supposed to come in, the soybeans that come from America's breadbasket, there's not going to be nearly as much of them. Food shortages are something America doesn't understand. We didn't think there could be a toilet paper shortage or baby formula shortages. Those things don't happen in America. They haven't happened since the Great Depression. But toilet paper and baby formula shortages happened. Of course, now is when the government's supposed to step in to help, except American farmers say the Biden administration is using our tax dollars to help Ukrainian farmers more than those here at home, including sending $100 million in emergency aid to Ukraine's farmers impacted by the war. Nothing for the farmers that grow our food. John Boyd's here, fourth-generation farmer, president of the Black Farmers Association. I still don't understand it. You've been in Washington. You've been lobbying Capitol Hill. The Biden administration's talked to you. You've rung these alarm bells for months now about how dangerous of a situation we're in, and you haven't heard anything back. Why?
I'm not sure what's going on with the administration, but the president really has to step his game up here. And he's ignoring the cries of the American farmers who have expressed the food crisis, the food shortage, the lack of farm operating loans, Leland, that we talked on your show about it in the earlier months. None of that aid reached America's farmers. Black farmers are still waiting on $5 billion in debt relief that we didn't get. And the president committed to having a meeting last July at the White House to have a formal sit-down meeting to see what he can do in next steps. Meanwhile, while the grass is growing, the cows are starving. And we haven't gotten the meeting, we haven't gotten the help from this administration. And we're not sure what's going on, but week after week we hear $50 billion to Ukraine and now $100 million in aid just for farmers in Ukraine, and nothing for America's farmers, nothing for Black farmers that we can harvest our crops.
What can happen now? And by that I mean, you talked in the spring that there was only a couple of weeks left to plant. There were only a couple of weeks left to be able to get people loans for fertilizer and diesel fuel and feed for their cattle and everything else. 80% rise in fertilizer price. Diesel is now up $2.20 from a year ago and still may go higher. Yes. What can be done now?
Well, we have to find a way to curtail these costs in this country, and it comes from leadership. We can't say that this is, Russia's problem, when these are things that, some of these things we can address right here in the United States. So farmers need the aid, they need it now, they need the assistance, and they need it now. And the president hasn't answered the cries for leaders like myself to come to the table who've outright supported him early on to be president. And he said that his administration would have an open door policy to individuals like me. And there hasn't been any formal meeting to discuss this farm crisis that we're in. Farmers are now getting farm foreclosure notices in the mail. And the only two people buying land in this country is China and Bill Gates, running the price of farmland up to about $10,000 and $15,000 an acre. This is a farm crisis, and the bigger are getting bigger and the smaller are getting out of business, and the small farmers are being run out of business by policies that will be helping us.
I'm watching right now, and this is just file video, obviously, of crops being harvested. What are you looking at in your farm and in Southern Virginia in terms of the amount of crop versus a normal year that's going to come in this year?
I've noticed that a lot of farms are laying out, which means empty fields. So we have some empty fields right here in the county that I live in, and that pattern could be seen around the country. You're not going to see the yields. So we just harvested wheat, and we didn't have the averages that we had last year. We're in a drought right now as well. So the heat, the extreme heat, is going to cause the crops not to have maximum yields. All of these things will wind up hurting the American consumers. That's the average person that walks into the grocery store and see the very high prices and the shelves that won't have the food commodities that we had last year this time. And these are things that America has taken for granted for years and decades. We've always had an abundance of food in this country. Like you said, since 1936, we've had an abundance of food in this country. And this is going to be the year that America's people are going to have to wake up and do something to help America's farmers.
Yeah, well, the problem that you laid out a couple of months ago and seems to continue to become true is very simple, which is that it may be too late. Once the shelves are empty and the wheat isn't in, you've lost the year. John, it's always good to see you, even if the news continues to be bad. We appreciate you telling the truth about it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, God bless. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.